Good evening, everyone. Lights, camera, action.
Welcome to Idea the IPO. My name is Rob. I organize Idea the IPO. We've been holding events in Silicon Valley for many, many years. We launched officially on February 1st, 2010. At that time, we had no members and no events on our calendar. At this stage, we have over 1 million members in all our meetup groups all around the world. We've organized, promoted, and produced over 5,600 events. By any standard, by any measure, we're the most active, most prolific startup event organization in the history of Silicon Valley, bar none. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. We organize venture capital panels, legal workshops, networking events, and more. We hold an event every day of the week. Check out our schedule at ideatoipo.com. Our mission is to promote entrepreneurship, support entrepreneurs, build community, and provide value in the Silicon Valley startup ecosystem. To that end, we provide content that is practical, actionable, and relevant. Stuff you can actually use to succeed as entrepreneurs. We believe in building community because Silicon Valley is a global aspirational ecosystem. It attracts people from all over the world who come here to do great things. Who here is not originally from Silicon Valley or the greater San Francisco Bay Area? Who here was born and raised in Silicon Valley or the greater San Francisco Bay Area? Wow, 7, a record. Well, welcome. So whether you're born and raised here or just arrived last night, it's important for us to provide multiple channels for you to meet people, build relationships, and grow your network. With regard to value, it's important that we provide value at each and every one of our events. Not just value for your money, which is important though, because we know many entrepreneurs are struggling financially. So we make sure our events are free or affordable, and if one of our events has a cover charge and you cannot afford the cover charge for whatever reason, come talk to me, we can work something out. And at most of our in-person speaker events, we make sure that we provide a delicious buffet. Is that a delicious buffet? Is that a delicious buffet? I want to thank Snell and Wilmer for sponsoring that delicious buffet. So let's hear it for Snell and Wilmer. More importantly, at each and every one of our events, it's important that we provide value for your time, which is your most valuable resource. Anyone here getting any younger? Besides this young lady? So when you invest your valuable time to come to our events, we want to make sure that you maximize your ROI. We have many partners that help us do what we do: law firms, venture capital firms, angel investor groups, incubators, accelerators, colleges, universities, and lots of other players in the Silicon Valley startup ecosystem. Tonight, we're grateful to Snell and Wilmer for hosting us once again at this beautiful venue. Is this a beautiful venue? So let's hear it for Snell and Wilmer. We've held many events here. We look forward to many, many more. Roger, would you like to say a few words?
How you all doing tonight? No, seriously, come on. This is like such a momentous night. How you all doing? Excellent. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited to moderate this panel tonight. And I just really appreciate everybody coming out. You probably just vented out from TechCrunch, so appreciate you all taking the time to come out tonight. Just a couple words about Snell and Wilmer. Law firm was founded in 1930. Someone asked me if I was a founder. Obviously, obviously I didn't age well. Yeah, so 600 lawyers, 18 offices around the country. I head up our Emerging Growth and Venture Capital Fund practice group, dealing with startups from incorporation all the way through exit and multiple fundings in between. On your chair there, I was an entrepreneur for 10 years before I became a lawyer, and I made all the mistakes in the book. That top 10 list of do's and don'ts is from personal experience and also from representing thousands of startups. Again, so happy to have you all here. Looking forward to a great night. We want to make sure that this is real, authentic. When we come to questions, Whatever you want to ask, this panel is going to answer the questions for you in an open, honest, and candid way. So appreciate it. Looking forward to a great event, and I'll turn it back to Rob.
Some of our other partners are here tonight. I would also like to have them say a few words. Let's hear it for Lisa and INSPERITY. Applause.
Hi, I'm Lisa with INSPERITY, and we help startups with everything to do with people administration. So we do everything from payroll, compliance. We offer Fortune 500 benefits at a discount. We're not a broker, so it's a straight pass-through. We have over 500,000 lives on our plan, so we can really pass those economies of scale through to you, and also with our workers' comp plan. In addition, we can offer a lot of HR advice and support. So just a great option for HR outsourcing.
Next up, we have Yana and New York Life. Applause.
Thank you. My name is Yana, and I'm with New York Life, financial professional with New York Life. I do help individuals and businesses with financial planning, life insurance, strategies for your retirement. Anyone who needs protection, have a family, and like a peace of mind, please come connect to my table. And also fill out our raffle. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jessica and Creative Jolie AI. Applause.
Hi, I'm Jessica Tam. I'm with Creative Jolie AI. I'm your local AI digital marketing studio. I help business founders and owners to go smarter with AI automation, digital marketing, CRM system, social media and content creation, lead generation, logos, banners, and more. So I'm right there. And then if you want to learn how AI can elevate your business, come see me. Thank you.
Hey, next up we have Kenzie and the Menlo College Investment Club. Applause.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with the Menlo Investment Club. Today we have our banner hanging up over there. Very grateful for you guys for having us at this panel. We recently released a venture series. So within the venture series, we're helping students get into venture capital and into the startup ecosystem here in Silicon Valley. So we would love to connect with you if you want to stop over at our table. And yeah.
So we have a serious sustainability initiative. 10% of all global emissions are caused by in-person events. We do in-person events as well as online events. So for our in-person events, we try and have reusable plates, utensils, cups, etc. It's a lot of work, but when it comes to sustainability, like in a lot of things in life, it's easy to talk the talk. It's harder to walk the walk. And yes, it's hard to wash all those dishes. Guess who's going to wash those dishes tomorrow? Well, me, because my assistant isn't here. But I want to thank Snell and Wilmer for allowing us to use the dishwashing machine upstairs. So let's hear it for Snell and Wilmer for supporting our sustainability initiative. Well, let me expand on that. So we all can do something. Nobody's perfect. So if we all try and do something collectively, it adds up. So I ask that everybody do something when it comes to sustainability. Thank you in advance. So though our local mission is to support entrepreneurs here in Silicon Valley, our global mission is to democratize entrepreneurship and innovation all around the world. To that end, we maintain a robust YouTube channel, youtube.com/idea-to-IPO. Check it out. We have tons of videos there. And this rich, valuable content is available on demand, anytime, anywhere, totally free of charge. Our partner in this endeavor is Christine Iglesias, one of the top professional videographers in Silicon Valley. Let's hear it for Christine. Applause.
Hello, everyone. Christina Iglesias here. I run and own a media company, C# Video, C# agency in Milpitas, and we position ourselves in the market to partner up, be the media partner for entrepreneurs Natural Evolution, we are currently working on feature documentary films. So if you are interested in telling your story and making an impact and telling it right, I'm the person to chat. I'm happy to chat with you. Have a nice evening.
So let's see who's in the room. Who is an early stage entrepreneur? What's the difference between a pizza and an early stage entrepreneur? A pizza can feed a family of 4. Who is an enterprise employee? Who's a former enterprise employee? Who's a government employee? Who's a former government employee? Who's an investor? Who's a student or academic? Who's a journalist or media person? Who's here for the delicious buffet? Well, thank you for coming. So here's the schedule for the rest of the evening. Our panel will hold a brilliant, compelling, dynamic, entertaining, and scintillating discussion, right? At 8 o'clock, we'll open up to questions from the audience. At 8:30, we'll wrap up the program. We'll have a raffle drawing. You must be present to win. We have 10, count them 10 prizes, some awesome books, Visa gift cards, conference tickets. So make sure you stick around for the raffle. Stick around and network, socialize, and connect afterwards, and then there'll be an after party. More on that later. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to our distinguished moderator, Roger Rappoport, partner at Snell and Wilmer. So let's give it up for Roger and our panel. Applause.
All right, so we have an amazing panel tonight. I'm just going to quickly run through our panelists, and maybe what we could do is just tell us a little bit about your journey as a founder, what made you start your company, as a VC, what led you into the VC world. So Matineh, why don't we start with you? Matineh is the CEO of Drive Powerline, an incredible company, an incredible entrepreneur and CEO. So tell us how you got into Drive Powerline. This is your second startup. So what made you do it again?
I don't know, I was crazy. Hi everyone, I'm Matineh, CEO, co-founder of Powerline. So just very quickly, what is Powerline? As you might have imagined, it has something to do with energy. We do AI, we use AI to help grid level, power plant level batteries to operate efficiently and be connected to the electricity grid. What made me to do this again? It was all the fault of my first company, because I did the first one, it went well, we sold it, and I was like, this was good, this felt good. And then I thought every other journey is going to be the same, so I started it. What made me to do the first one was a series of day-by-day decisions that led me to that path. Initially, when I was doing my PhD at the university at Carnegie Mellon, I thought I'm going to be a professor. Everybody thought so. Everybody was like, oh, you're doing great research. You publish a lot of papers. That was my path. And then I did an internship in an energy company, startup. I was like, maybe I put a pause on the academic, and I go do a little bit of industry. I promise I'm going to come back. I never went back. I went to do the industry, and then as I worked, I realized, I saw that it's not just sitting and doing my job 9 to 5. It doesn't satisfy me enough. I want to be involved in the decisions that are being made. I want to, when I see issues, I would take actions. I were doing things to improve the work environment, all of those stuff. And then the CEO told me, the CEO of that company told me, Matineh, you got to do your own company. And I was like this immigrant, and I didn't know anything about doing anything in the US in the industry or doing my business. But somehow, like, I did one thing at a time and went through it, try and error, and it just worked out. Along the way, I made fool of myself a lot. I made mistakes, but it just somehow worked out. And that company was a success. And then after that, I got spoiled. I thought, I'm good at this.
It's really weird. Founders, as we're going through the process, like, oh, this is so hard. This is hard. Can't wait to exit. Never going to do this again. And then, like 6 months later, get a call. I've been thinking. I've got this idea.
Now that you're in a female panel, this actually might make sense to make this comment. I always say founding a company is like giving birth. You forget about the pain. You just remember the good part of it, and you're like, I want to do this again. So.
All righty, so next up is Capella Kerst, who's the founder and CEO of geCKo Materials. Tell us about it.
Hello, everyone, and happy Halloween Eve. It's an honor to be on this panel with such an extinguished, lovely ladies and gentlemen, which also I have to add, you must have started at age 5 when you said that 10 years of entrepreneurship, because I don't believe that you had that career.
Whenever my wife says anything nice, I go, what do you want?
Anyway, Rob said tell a joke, so that was my, no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I am Capella Kerst. I am the founder and CEO of geCKo Materials. We are the revolutionary bio-inspired dry adhesive company. You can reuse geCKo materials over 120,000 times. For reference, Velcro can be used 2,000 times, so we like to call ourselves the next industrial Velcro. 1-inch tile can support 15 pounds vertically, 6 1-inch tiles can pull a car, and my pinky can hold a full bottle of wine. That's normally my party trick, but there's no alcohol ever at Rob's event, so I can't do my party trick here. Sorry, guys. If anyone has a full bottle of wine upstairs, maybe I'll do that.
And you're in outer space as well.
We're on the International Space Station, and we sell to companies like Honda, Ford, Toyota, NASA, BMW, Bentley, TSMC, Samsung, Intel, Apple, just to name a few here on Earth. I had the immense honor and privilege of releasing 4 high-fidelity solutions on TechCrunch main stage yesterday. So if you're at day 3 or you want to check out, it's on YouTube right now. People have been pinging me, and they had an article come out, which I finally read at like 1 a.m. last night. So I'm a little tired from an intense TechCrunch. So sorry for the low energy, but I am very excited. Yeah,
I should have gotten you that coffee.
I did ask for coffee. I was like, I need coffee. He didn't get me any. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so geCKo Materials helps other companies save energy, time, and money. We are a public benefit corp, so we have a specific mission to the environment, sustainability, like Rob was talking about. You have to be the example you want to see in the world, and so I decided to incorporate the company as a PBC. Very passionate. I actually spun out my PhD from the little school that's across the street here. On Snapchat, there's a little filter for it, and I'm like, we're not on campus, but that's okay, we're close enough. And I spun out my PhD into geCKo Materials, and I love what I do. So thank you, excited to be on the panel.
Excellent. Great. So next up is Karen Sheffield, founder and managing partner of Pachamama Ventures. Maybe, Karen, tell us a little bit about how you got into venture, and then also what does Pachamama look for, see, stage, pardon?
Pachamama.
Pachamama.
One more.
Sorry. 3 hours sleep because of this lady. Tell us about how you got into venture, what you invest in, stage, sector, check size.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Sheffield. I am the founder and managing partner of Pachamama Ventures. Pachamama means Mother Earth in Quechua, the ancient language of the Incas. I'm originally from Peru, which is why I named my firm that. So to give a hint to my heritage as a Peruvian woman, but also to tell people what we invest in, which is ultimately climate tech to heal the earth. So we're a climate tech generalist venture firm. We just started 16 months ago, so we're brand new. Based in the Bay Area. I moved to the Bay Area from Dallas, Texas, about 5 years ago almost. My life before being a VC was completely different. I'm not like an ex-Sequoia, worked at a venture firm that big and then became an emerging manager. I'm also not an ex-founder turned VC, which is the hottest trend right now. Also not an top elite school that went to Wall Street no. I'm a Fortune 100 finance executive turned VC, which is very weird. Because most people just talk to me and they think, oh, you crunch the numbers. So, but the early stage is all about people, and that's in the psychology of people. Is this founder gonna have what it takes and whatnot? It takes almost a completely different side of your brain, honestly, and that took some learning. But I went into VC because I started angel investing on the side. So that was my pathway into venture. And so what's used to like crunching numbers, doing DCF, and all these fancy valuation methods are nothing when you become a pre-seed early stage VC, because literally you are assessing companies before revenues, sometimes even before a product. And even if there's a product, they're gonna iterate so many times and pivot so many times because of customer feedback. So it really becomes all about assessing people. But I am a person who loves people, and I've always been, and I've always loved innovation. So at every Fortune 500 company I worked at, American Airlines, PepsiCo, Visa, I found myself being the trouble kid in a way where I was like, oh, I want to break things and move along faster. Like, why are you doing this like that? And being met with answers like, well, that's how we've always done it. I'm like, that is not a good reason to keep doing this and wasting money and resources. Like, why are we not innovating faster? So I think getting in trouble at all these Fortune 100 organizations was kind of like my aha moment to move into venture. Talking about the specific thesis, we're a $5 million fund one. We invest in climate tech at pre-seed seed stage in the US, writing checks of $100,000 up to $500,000. We're climate generalists, but the one lens I do have is that I only invest in enterprise-ready B2B climate tech. B2B doesn't mean not software, right? It means software, hardware, deep tech, as long as you're selling directly to Fortune 500s. So if I see that your beachhead market is the PepsiCos and Shells of the world, that meets my thesis. And every emerging manager is going to tell you that they have a very narrow thesis, and that's on purpose. If we were to be everything to everyone, we would be competing with Sequoia, and we don't have the resources to be at that level yet, right? So I'll just leave it there, but I'm really happy to be here.
Excellent, thank you. Next up is Yvonne Lutsch, Investment Director at Lamb Capital.
Yeah, hi, Yvonne is my name. So first of all, Lamb Capital is the venture arm of Lamb Research, of the Lamb Research Group. And for the ones who don't know what Lamb Research is, we are currently, at least to market cap, the second largest semiconductor equipment manufacturer in the world after ASML. And they were in the news everywhere because of their super expensive machines that were not allowed to be sold in China. We have export restrictions as well, but that doesn't hinder us to grow a lot. Applied Materials is another big player, and then there are some others. So I came into venture kind of by accident, as many other people in venture capital after all as well. So I was at Bosch, a German company, for 22 years in total, and the first 13 years back in Germany. And then they offered me a job here in Silicon Valley. Yvonne, go to Silicon Valley because, you are on the one hand, you are a technologist, but on the other hand, you are not like, when you talk to people, you're not looking at their feet, you're looking into their faces. So that was an asset. So they sent me here to do technology scouting, business development, and this was 10 years ago. And I came here, and the first day, what I did, I Googled, what is business development? Because I had no idea what I was doing, but I figured it out. And I love to figure out things. That's definitely one of my things. And I jumped into the Silicon Valley startups, venture ecosystem, and I was like, wow. I mean, you read about it, but if you are in it, it was breathtaking. And I was like, okay, I have to be part of this. I already felt myself being probably a little bit too old, maybe I'm not, but I was like, well, do I want to be a founder? I don't know. I worked my ass off at Bosch in the corporate. I worked in operations where the customers are calling you at 3 a.m. So I was not super excited about that. And then I was like, well, the other side is VC, working with startups, helping young founders or helping unexperienced founders, specifically in deep tech, helping them to build their business, to explain them how corporations work, and helping them to speak corporate language. This was my driver. So after business development for 2 years, I joined the Bosch Venture Group. And then a year ago, I was like, I'm done with this German company, even though they built the best dishwashers in the world. So I hope that the Bosch dishwasher upstairs will clean our plates. But I was like tired of working for a German corporation and far away, and they always think that we are here in Silicon Valley are all totally crazy, and to some extent we are. So I joined an American corporation, still a large corporation, so that is the same but different. But it's very different because we are a public company. Our stock hit all-time high ever yesterday. We are still partying. So yeah, it's a very, very good time to be in the semiconductor industry. Unfortunately, I don't work for NVIDIA, but the next best good thing here in the Bay Area is probably to be in the supply chain to build the chips eventually. So.
And what about the check sizes? Obviously, you're investing in strategically.
Yeah, we are investing strategically. We want to bring value to the startup, so we want to be able to work with them and becoming their partner, becoming their customers, building something together. We are relatively early because we can help the early stage companies better than a later stage. So typical check size is maybe 2 to 4 million. We invest in Series C, Series A, Series B, mostly. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. Next up is Winnie, co-founder of Avinasi Labs.
Hi,
I didn't butcher your last name, right?
You can call Q. It's
Q.
easier to remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like me, right?
All right.
All right. Hi, my name is Winnie Q. I'm the co-founder of Avinasi Labs. So originally, I'm not supposed to be the co-founder, but unfortunately, I was put in the place like that. I'll tell the story later. So I actually grew up in China, and I went to school. I went to MIT. Many years ago. Started as an engineer, but turned to cancer data entrepreneur because my father died from lung cancer. I just want to do something for people like him. And I built my first company. We actually helped over 100,000 lung cancer patients around the world, 300 million. We built the largest database back then, more than 10 years ago, before the Web3 community is the thing. And crypto is a different thing. But then now that everyone's talking about communities and all that, we're the first one who actually built the largest one and actually have utilities in it. Fast forward, what I have noticed within my first startup journey, by the way, I also have the corporate experience, which I found super boring, just like what you said. And then I decided that, you know what, I just want to quit my job, and I want to do something that's different and that I can see immediately. So that's why I first started up. And then the second startup started beginning when I was locked down in Shanghai. I'm not sure if you guys heard about the big 60 million people got locked down in one city and cannot get out of the room. Yeah, that's us. At that time, also there's one thing, when I was studying and also learning, witnessing over 100,000 people pass away from the community every day, I think that when people have terminal cancers, there's only very little things that you can do, despite so much money you have put. Like in the past, I think every drug costs like over billions of dollars. These drug companies make over billions of dollars. But eventually, if they're already terminal sick, there's so little we can do. So what I would be super interesting to do is to prevent diseases. If we can pick up signals from people and understand better about how they turn into sickness, if we can discover early, maybe we can help them. Maybe I can help my father. And unfortunately, at that time, the technology wasn't there. So I was trying to build my second startup, which is focusing on hardware company, like hardware. So I wanted to build technologies that can help detect diseases early, picking up signals. Fast forward, that company didn't work out because I was too naive, too stupid to realize hardware is so difficult. But ended up I was joining a company, actually joining an investment company, was supposed to invest in us for the second company. And I ended up working there. That, by the way, is the company that I think Americans hate a lot because we are a hardware company. We have our incubation. We built over 80 plus companies. 8 of them become unicorns. And they actually are the ones that Americans love to ban. Because of the innovations happening in China and also in hardware in particular were so fast. We also, like Porsche actually went to our incubators and check it out and want to learn how does these Chinese innovations have become so fast that nobody had catch up. And then now that the only thing they can do is to ban China, like ban hardware. So, but that's where I was on my third journey. And after, I'm not going to say anything bad about China. I still love my country. I'm just saying that I'm sick of also in an environment where it's high pressure. And I decided to just maybe come back to the US, find a husband, get married. And I was like, okay, I'll join. I actually got taught by a friend who was like, oh, I'm building these new ventures. Why don't you come join me on the longevity part? Because it has a lot to do with what I was been working on, from disease to prevention to longevity. And here I am in building Avinasi Labs. And I also, fortunately, very fast, I found my husband here. I got married. He proposed me in 37 days, just something fun alongside. Just recently got married, settled in here, and now building Avinasi Labs. So what we do, we are a company building in Web3. We're assetizing everything from data sets to models to IPs in order to help people like you and me, people around the world, to cultivate the collaborations, to help scientists verify science, helping you to understand your health, why some drugs work and why some don't, for you and in particular. So everyone can contribute their data sets to our platform. You can actually get tokened, which hopefully in the future will become something even bigger. So some folks here probably don't know about Web3, but basically that's the idea, right? ChatGPT took a lot of data of yours. We want to make sure that if you contribute data, you get paid for it. So I'm going to pause here.
Okay, all right. So let me finish off last, but certainly not least. Lochan, Alagh.
Yes.
Did I butcher that
Lochan.
as well? Okay, well, I'm 7 for 7, you know.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lochan Alagh. I was already getting goosebumps listening to all these amazing stories. I haven't done as amazing things as these wonderful women have done. I am just an investor. I was a partner at a fund of funds where we're investing in other venture funds, and our investment thesis primarily was to write smaller checks in VCs and to invest in Series B, Series C stage companies to the pro-rate allocation of these fund managers. So we were writing smaller checks in emerging fund managers in smaller VCs, but we were writing bigger checks in outliers, Series B, C stage companies. I was just talking to Roger. It wasn't very exciting for me to just invest based out on spreadsheets and numbers. I enjoy talking to founders, listening to their vision. And that's when I decided that, okay, I'm just going to start my own fund. But I just didn't want to make investments, dollar investments and not make bigger impact. So I wanted to do more, and that's why I reached out to the anchor investors of that fund of funds, started VC Nest. VC Nest is a collaborative hub for early stage VCs, and the thesis was to write smaller checks in startups, but we were using VCs as a diligence partners as well. It picked up very well, momentum built up, and we are now expanding VC Nest to Venture Doc. It's a platform for founders where they can meet not only other VCs, but also other corporate executives as well, because we are investing in B2B startups. So in addition to funds, we also wanted to provide market access and capital access to founders to create a larger impact, and that's what I'm working on right now. I'm very excited to be here, and I moved from India 10 years back, and my first day I was walking on 101. I didn't know you cannot walk on freeways, and everyone was honking on me. In India it was pretty common, but I'm very excited to be here today. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much to everybody. People always say to me, why are you so interested in female founders doing events like this? I have 2 daughters, and from when they were tiny, I always tried to instill in them the idea and the notion that they could do anything they wanted to do, no matter what. And in my office upstairs, I've got, my daughter must have been about 6. She came running out of Justice. If you've got young kids, you'll know all about Justice. And it was a shirt that said, girls can do anything. Like, she really got it. And so, representing a lot of founders, a lot of female founders, I found that often the playing field isn't always the same. So I'm just going to open up to the panel here, and from founders, from investors, what are the most persistent myths that you consistently hear about female founders that you just wish would disappear? Okay, let's go for it. And as a founder, have you encountered any of these, people that have these very particular ideas and myths?
That female founders can't be solo founders is a myth, because I am a female and I am a solo founder, and I've done a price round and 2 rounds of funding, so I blew that myth out of the water.
Why do you think that females can't be founders? Is it because they can't be mothers and founders?
No, I'm solo founders.
Yeah, right, solo founders.
No, I don't think that at all.
No, I'm saying, is that a myth?
It's a myth. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, why do I think that's a myth? I mean, people have told that to my face. It's just something that's said in the industry. I've heard it on a couple panels and podcasts, saying that, you shouldn't be a solo founder. And solo founding, I think, is a myth too. Like, oh, solo founders don't make it big, It's like, well, we're going to be the next multi-billion-dollar household name, so there you go.
We did a panel of YC founders a few weeks back, and one was a solo founder, got in first time, which I hadn't really heard of it, and he said to the folks at YC, I've looked for founders, I haven't found the right founder. The execution risk increases by me having the wrong founder than me coming in as a solo founder. So I think it's becoming more acceptable to be a solo founder.
I'm saying AI is becoming a co-founder nowadays.
Yeah.
I actually, in my first company, there was a period of time that I was a solo founder. I was pushed literally, like word by word, that, you need to find a male founder, a male co-founder. But those days has passed. People are a little bit more used to see founders, both female founders are successful and all of that. But that doesn't mean that we get the same amount of risk acceptance when we talk to VCs. I would love here today to see no, this is all we are past that, everything is okay. No, it is not okay. I feel it, I have raised several rounds into two companies, but the amount of effort that I put in compared to male founders that I know that are way less behind the progress that my companies have made is substantially more. And I'm not saying this as a victim, I hate that. I'm saying this as I'm badass, kind of thing. So it's I just give you an example. So one of my friend founders I was talking to, he's a male, and he was like, oh, you're opening a round, get ready for beer, a lot of restaurants and beers with VCs. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, that's what happens, right? I invite you, a beer talk, and I was like, no. They barely want to meet me in person. They just want to meet me in the Zoom. Nobody invites me to. They feel weird to have a beer with a female CEO or founder. It's a completely different. Obviously, if I had that experience sitting beside a VC, talking, he sees me personally or she, connecting, it would go much better. But I'm not given that option versus that my male counterpart. I have heard in the back comments of VCs that have either ghosted us or passed. The feedback that came to my ear later on through back channel, Matineh looks tired. I was you would never hear a comment like that about a man that is a founder, and if even they look tired, you would, oh my God, they're hustling, that's why they're tired. And the person who was told that Matineh is tired is one of our backers and supporters and friends, trying to be nice to me. His comment to them was, but she has 2 kids. I was like, no.
Talk about perpetuating the myths.
Yes, I was like, no, I have 2 kids. Yeah, my co-founder has 2 kids too, and he's a male, and you don't talk about him being tired. And no, I'm not tired. I'm tired of hearing this.
I think as a VC, if you go out with someone and they're totally refreshed and spry, they're not a real startup founder. I mean, if they're not working 80, 100 hours a week.
I don't know what he saw in me that he thought I'm tired, but whatever, these are the comments that you get. My advice is that just they're not the right fit, move on, prove them wrong.
How about you, for anyone else on the panel? So what are the myths? At one of the last panels we had, it was women are too emotional.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Unfortunately, a good friend of mine, she's a female founder, she was asked seriously whether she is too emotional to run a business.
Wow.
And this is so horrible because, I mean, every person is more or less emotional. This is like a personality thing, and it probably shows different in different people. Women, if they are super, super frustrated, tend to cry. Men, when they are super, super frustrated, tend to scream or leave the room. Which one is better? I don't know. I think none of it is good. I mean, everyone should be professional and to control their emotion to some point. But this was the most ridiculous thing I ever heard, to be honest.
I mean, I think ultimately, emotions and passion are very clearly and sort of inextricably intertwined. And for someone that's really emotional and passionate, I think you want to see that in a founder.
From a longevity perspective, it would be better to cry. Yeah, to release the stress. Really, that's the thing. Can I say something controversial though?
Absolutely. This is a no agreement panel.
I want to say that going back to the solo thing, the solo founder thing, I actually think that it depends really, because I said it purely just to myself because I think I would not want to be a solo founder because I was really weak for my first startup. I have to admit that. And I think very importantly, before you decide, I don't think it's anything to do with female or no female. It's about knowing yourself, whether you're strong enough to be able to take all the stress. And I think that's actually super important. And I've never become a mother before, but I understand completely. It will be extremely, extremely difficult for any woman to have 3 kids because startup is one. But if you cannot tolerate it, then you should really consider whether you should have a partner.
I totally agree, and I want to actually emphasize that doesn't mean that having 2 kids it's just nothing. It is a freaking difficult thing to have 2 kids and trying to be a good mom and perfect and good dad and perfect, be there for them, and run a business. But I would say also, if anything can do that is women, because we are multitaskers. I'm serious. I'm not talking. I compare myself to my husband, who is one of the most smartest people I know. But I am freaking multitasker. In my head, as I walk from this side of the house to the other side, I think about, okay, they're grabbing this, doing that, his school, her thing, and then, okay, the meeting is, my husband, when he's like doing something, don't talk to me, I'm doing this. So I'm like, yeah, it is difficult, but if anything, anyone can do it as women.
Okay, I'm going to just back it up. We were negotiating a term sheet last week. Matineh picked up her son from school. He was in the back. Autopilot, self-steering was on, and we were negotiating the term sheet, picking up the kid, driving in the car. So totally multitasker.
And I don't think any male founder has ever got the question at a VC call, do you plan to become pregnant? Because it is a 2-part, sorry, to make that baby, you need 2 people. There's the man, the woman, and controversial, you want a controversy, so I'm giving that to you. But the
so
amount of times...
How do you respond?
Yeah, so I got the question, do you plan to become pregnant? And I was like, well, there's no ring on this hand, so I'm not married. So first I have to get married to have a child, and I'm focused on this company right now. The company is my baby. And I was like, that's very unprofessional. And it came from my woman VC multiple times.
Wow.
Women are our worst enemies sometimes. Other controversial is, sometimes the women VCs are the most intense, and you're like, wait, come on, what is this? But also, I love my women VCs that are on my cap table. This lovely lady being one of them. She's one of our angel investors, and so women can be supportive of other women, but some women. Yeah, they just go for the jugular, and you're like, whoa, I thought we were on the same team, but I guess not. Anyway, but yeah, none of my male friends, their wives have been pregnant. They've been pregnant, their wives have been pregnant during a fundraising round or during a company launch. No one's asked them that question, not a single time. And it's like, then they've gone on maternity leave. And I was like, you just closed your round and then went on maternity leave. But I have had a friend literally sign a term sheet in the hospital while giving birth. Super impressive.
Yeah, we were actually evaluating, and this is an example based on my evaluation on a female founder. I was evaluating a company a couple of years back, and my diligence partner was saying, I don't think this is a good company to invest. And I was arguing, no, I believe this is a good company to invest. His argument was, women are good at building lifestyle business, but they're not good at building scalable companies. And my counter argument was, no, women are more data driven. They're very good at managing cash. They are very, very good at managing finances. So we should be investing. We finally ended up investing in that company. 2 female founders, and the company is now Series C. It's really AI, and I was very proud of making that investment. So I think there are preconceived notions, but now trend is changing, and of course successes are backing those numbers. So I'm glad that I was able to put money in that company, but I still have my hesitation in investing in solo founders. My investments in solo founders have not given me great returns. One founder, he was doing great, but just because of mere exhaustion, he sold his company way earlier than he could have taken it longer if he had a co-founder with him.
Slightly controversial. I don't actually think trends are getting better. Like, we're saying it, we're all in the same room. I think you're all here because you like female founders, or at least maybe I hope so. Or you didn't look at it and you want free food. I saw those hands raised. But, which is fine, come for anything. But the percentage of capital is continuing to go down in female founders. I just want to have that solemn, truth. It's trending down, guys. Men are still getting more money than we are.
Why is that? I mean, in the VC industry,
VCs.
why are you?
Blame them. It's VCs. This is why didn't you give me money? I'm just kidding. She puts her money where her mouth is, so I like her.
But to start with, I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm a female VC, right? So I had an experience back at my corporate job where a male executive, I was also on a panel with him, and he told me in my face, this is 20 years ago, but it's not an excuse, it's just a fact. He told me in my face, Yvonne, if I hire a man, I do risk mitigation. And I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry. And this was once, men cannot get pregnant and women do the work. But secondly, and he said something, and that's important, it's just important to understand. He said, because I'm a man, I understand and I can read men better, so I can do a better hiring judgment if I hire a man.
Wow.
And this is not an insult, it's a pure fact, whether you like it or not. And it's a bias, it's a fact, whatever it is. So, and this is what is happening. There's still too many male VCs. They can probably judge and feel and read their male emotions better than female. They can better judge whether a guy, freaks out or not, and if a woman cries, then he feels pressured because he cannot handle it. That's another story I had in my life. That man told me, Yvonne, please never cry in front of me because you will get anything you want.
Wow.
This was my professor. But he said it in a nice way, because he really got, I could have gotten anything I wanted, but I didn't want to get it that way. But we need more female VCs to found and fund female founders, and I'm very, very sad if I hear that, female VCs treated you badly. There's a separate hell for women that don't support women, but I think that's what we have to do to break the cycle.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing. I think it is a snowball effect, right? It starts with allocators, LPs, investing in VCs. VCs exist there then to invest in founders. So it starts all the way at the top. So if you think of allocators, big allocators, right? The big guys up there, in venture that has started, in the 1960s, 70s, it's making a shift, that shift is slowly happening. I read that the average of venture fund in the US it's common to see 10 to 20% of the LPs be women. So it starts there already. 20 actually sounds better than 2%, right? I thought it would be worse. It was about 20%. Our fund has 70% LPs be women. So that's more than 3x the industry average. And my own portfolio is half are female founders. So it starts with what she said, right? Like it's this snowball effect. Now we're slowly shifting that, but until that makes its way down to founders, it's taking a while, and we have to continue making that progress. The thing with progress is not that you can check the box and you said it's done. Every year you keep fighting to keep it and keep it going. And so there's gonna be a pendulum then, right?
Yeah.
So.
But you know what's really interesting, because I always maybe just very naively think that female VCs are going to be much, gravitate towards female founders. And I think, when you think about pattern matching bias, when I have a couple of PhD Asian guys from Stanford, the doors open, very quickly. But not only for male VCs, I think, all VCs follow a pattern that they've had success in. And so if you're older, or you're not from the right school, or you're female, it just doesn't necessarily match the pattern. So what advice do you give to your founders? And from your perspective as founders, what are you doing to sort of break this pattern matching expectation that people have in terms of equating it with success?
Yeah, I mean, my advice to founders, female founders, just any founder, is like, listen, you have to go in knowing who you're talking to, right? And understand that bias exists whether you are a female or a male VC, unfortunately. So it starts with like really checking for that unconscious bias in the VC like me, saying, okay, what's my bias? It's probably the other way around, usually women, Latina or whatnot, right? Like you would think, right? And so it's there though. On one hand, it's like who is like me is very human, right? But it is in a way kind of like edited by the fact that you said it, right? Like who is usually the money going to? But the problem is that concentration is not how venture capital returns work. It's actually in finding the outlier. And by definition, that outlier lives outside of the norms. No one can tell you that the venture capital unicorn, the unicorn company is going to come from this school or whatever, because that's not how outliers work. Yeah. So as a VC, what I try to do is actually cast a wider net, really make myself go out there and not just stay here in the Bay Area and investing in Bay Area founders or investing in founders that look the same or come from, that's where you have to actually do the work. It is work. And sometimes I will find like other emerging managers out there, it's like, oh, that's a lot of work. I'm like, yeah, but that's the work that it takes to find those outliers, really break out of the pattern. So my advice to founders typically is like, just be ready for that, you might encounter that unchecked bias, so be quick on your feet to respond to that, right? Like just like don't let that surprise you or annoy you or anything.
But when you get that unconscious bias,
yeah.
Do you tackle it in the moment?
Yeah.
I get female founders all the time saying, we went into the meeting, I had my engineer there, which sometimes is questionable why the engineer would be there, but and the conversation was all to the engineer, and I'm the CEO, so that kind of unconscious bias, do you tackle it head on? Do you prepare for it? What do you do?
That is really interesting. Yeah, I was going to I'll answer your first question and then I'll answer that one. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. It has to come with you. You or Rob said, it's easier to talk the talk than walk the walk. And you have to walk the walk. And when you're walking the walk and you're doing what you love and you're truly passionate and you love what you do, that is what gets you through the hard days. That's what gets you through the no's. That's what gets you through the unconscious or conscious bias. You have to be there in the position where you're like, no matter come hell or high water, I will be the change I need to see in the world today and tomorrow. And other people will eventually follow. Thank you.
Winnie.
Yeah, I actually, where to start? I got the same female attacked when I was meeting female VC, and fortunately that is also a very close friend of mine, just asking, well, how, now you're married, when are you gonna have kids? Oh, if you have kids, I'm not gonna invest. Basically that's what she said, right? Usually that's how I would attack back. Look, I'll be the woman who will be signing your term sheets while I'm delivering a baby. I will hold the highest standard that no man can do. And that's what I would respond to it, always. And by the way, actually, in my company, most of the engineers are male. Actually, all the engineers are male. So I'm like very proud. Like I'm actually very proud of myself, receiving this respect from all the male engineers in our company. And if they can answer the question, go ahead, they can. But still, I will be the one who is making the final call.
And you're the one signing their paycheck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So holding a higher standards, I think we will get the respect from everyone.
I face what you just said literally every day.
Was it with Julian?
When Julian, my co-founder, is in the call or others in the call, there are always questions, conversations targeted to him. And my strategy have been, I'm politely, because it's a customer or it's an investor, I want to keep the relationship, and I understand it's an unconscious bias. I don't want to delete them from my relationship because of that, but I basically step in. If the question is about the business, commercial stuff, I step in, I answer, even if it's addressed to Julian. Kind of through the course of the meeting, I correct their action, the pattern. They start talking to me, address me. Or they talk to him about stuff that they think I might not have enough depth of understanding. So I contribute with very informative or very deep substance, so that they realize, oh, okay, I start attracting their respect. So on the go, as we are in the meeting, I'm like, no, I'm here, I'm answering, I'm contributing, you talking to me. Obviously, there are a lot of subjects that Julian has to address, but when there's a business-related matter, you talk to me. And that's how I address it.
One thing I want to add here, because we also have, allies in the room, men that also want to support women. One favor that men can do, which is very, very strong, they address the unconscious bias in the room, and they say, well, you should leave this answer to my CEO because she knows better than I.
Yeah, I think that's so key, and I counsel my clients to do that, before the meeting, to set clear expectations, just to have that male defer to the CEO, and I think that just really boosts the CEO and helps with that unconscious bias.
Yeah, and it's a relationship. You're VC, you're a founder. Doesn't matter which side you're on. What matters is the relationship, and if they're along with the ride. This is a long ride. Someone just at TechCrunch is like, you know what? It's so much harder to get out of your VC term sheet than it is to get a divorce these days, which is really sad. I wish divorces was, yeah. But it is really true. You're in this for a long, long, long time. And, an overnight success takes 10 years minimum. And so you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. What's going to get you through that hard day? What are the people you're going to call up? One of the VCs I was chatting with is like, yeah, I just had to it wasn't bail someone out of jail, but it was almost extremely as that. And I was like, oh, the car broke down by the side of the road and they drove an hour to come pick them up and take them. This is the relationship you have to build, and it's sitting down face to face, really taking those calls seriously, but also getting to know the VCs and getting to know the founders is what's the most important. It's going to help break down those walls, because then, sex, race, religion, all of those kind of go away when you boil it down to the person's moral and ethics. And if they align with you on the moral and ethics, then you have a match and they'll probably invest in you. I've actually said no to a very high-powered VC, because when I sat down and chatted with him, his moral and ethics did not align with mine, and boy, did he want to invest. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, that's not how I do business. And he's like, well, that's how you should do business. And I was like, that's what's wrong with the world. Have a great day. And I left.
I think one of the biggest myths is getting a VC is like a marriage. It's nothing like a marriage, because you can get divorced. You just can't get divorced from a VC. Yeah. So,
yeah.
We're kind of running out of time, so I want to, get to some questions about fundraising, and who in the room is looking for money? Okay, I should have done it the other way around. Who's not looking for money? What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see founders making in the fundraising process? And maybe for the founders, what are some of the mistakes that you made that you could, help people pivot from that mistake?
Wasting time with people that I don't like.
Or that aren't in the right sector,
Right,
aren't writing the right
exactly.
check
Like
size.
it's like where I know, and you're like, what? And then you just waste your time. I quickly developed this was due diligence goes both ways. So I did massive due diligence on some VCs, and that was an eye opener. So that was like a first week kind of thing, and then I was like, oh, okay. God was like, you should look at this area, and that's my piece of advice: do due diligence. It goes both ways. If anything,
what kind of due diligence? Like calling, portfolio company
yes.
CEOs.
Ooh, calling portfolio CEOs, seeing what dead bodies they have in their closet, checking their personal records. No, I'm not joking. People's personal records are online, folks. You should check them. Goes both ways. Anyway, because if you can't keep your personal life tidy, just like being a great mom, you should be a great mom, then you'll be a great founder. Because if you can't keep your house in order, how can you keep your company in order or your VC in order? So really kind of digging into a little bit of the personal life actually gives pretty decent, you're laughing, but what do you do on the weekends? What do you do for fun? Because again, it's those hard moments of being able to relate to someone, having the same moral ethics, and just good vibes, as Taylor Swift would say. But
It amazes me that founders do so little diligence on VCs.
There's so
VCs
much
do
money out
so
there.
much. I know, but you know what?
Tell the VC no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one common mistake I've seen founders making is when they're pitching to VCs, they keep on talking about their product. As investors, we are really investing in your business, not in just the technology. If you are not able to translate your technology into business, then we are not going to invest in them. So you have to not just talk about your product and how fancy it is, how fancy is your technology. You have to also tell us what is the roadmap to revenue. What is the market research that you have done? How many customers you have already talked to? Yes, we do invest in people as early stage investors because we definitely want to invest in founders who are perseverant. But some founders, they overemphasize on this is the amazing product that I've built without even understanding the market. Who are you going to sell this product to if there are no customers out there? So just do your research on the market as well before reaching out to VCs. And also reach out to right VCs. I've seen many founders reaching out to me in areas where I do not even invest. And they waste, you waste your time in reaching out to wrong VCs, as she said. Do your research on right investors because they're not going to be just your investors, they're going to be partners in your startup journey. Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you are talking to VCs where you think there is a great match on the technology, on the topics, on the interests, ask the VC what they know about the area and don't waste your time with spending half an hour on the problem because the VC heard the same problem statement already like 100 times already. This is so tiring. This happens to me all the time. And then I have to be rude and cut the VC short and tell them in a very friendly voice that we are investing in this space. We know this problem. We don't have to explain us like 5 or 10 slides, only the problem.
Yeah. Or even and the market size. I've got clients, I'll look at the deck and there's so many slides on why cancer is a really big market.
Yeah.
I think you could do that, in half a slide.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I was going to make that. And my other point was that VCs raise, if you're a founder, VCs also raise money, and the amount of LP calls, especially in this market, that I've gone to lunches to help my VCs get future money, even though I'm not raising it, they're already my VCs, they're already on my cap table. Maybe they'll, join a future round. I don't know, but I'm doing it to help them. The relationship goes both ways. So, shocker, yeah. If you're a portfolio company, you gotta really vouch for your VC, or that looks really bad on you.
As everybody was talking, I was like, the list of mistakes I have made through my fundraisings, particularly in the past. This recent one was one of the good ones. One of the main ones was, not doing, because they were like looking for money, and then not doing a good amount of, you don't need like extensive due diligence before, just whether the stage, the area of investment and all of that matches before set up the meeting. I ended up in our previous round educating the entire Silicon Valley VC society about energy, space, battery stuff that we're doing. Literally, I educated everybody. They would just like, oh, thank you for your information. We talk to you later. So just stop being because VCs are, with respect to all of you, but they are information hungry. They just want to gather information about everything what's going on everywhere, who is doing what, who is raising, they would get the meeting with you if you are slightly above their threshold. They would get a meeting with you, they learn, and then they just either ghost you or pass you or whatever. It is your time that's wasted. It is the information flow that you gave them, and you get nothing out of it. I spent enormous amount of time educating everybody in the VC space in my last round. I'm never doing that again.
So what did you do differently in this round that you didn't do last
I was
round?
very selective about who I reach out. I created very detailed investor tracking with as many columns as you need about tracking every information about each of them. I had high priority VCs, low priority VCs, annoying VCs, exciting VCs, all different categories that I feel like I like to know about them. And then I tracked them and I went priority by priority those conversations. And I also started with lead hunting. In the past raise, I went mix and match of small checks, big checks. This time I only spent my time with the lead candidates. After I secured the lead, the rest comes. So that was why this round was much better than the previous.
We should share that list. The annoying one especially. 2 more notes. I think I completely agree with the don't wasting time. I think a lot of the VCs just want to get information from us and just totally waste of time once you figure it out. So you should ask questions. You should ask the top 10 questions first before you go on the call with them. Because a lot of them, because I mean longevity, a lot of VCs are scared of dying. They just want to do calls and was like, can you give me some advice on longevity? I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. This is not supposed to be an advice call. And the second thing, actually, due respect to all the VCs here, you'd better figure out how to make money so that you don't have to rely on VCs' money.
Yeah, there are other ways to get funds. And this moment has come up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. To your note, my first, at least 15 minutes of my first call with any VC, I'm questioning the heck out of them. Yeah. And then I decide okay, I guess we have time to talk about the company, but I just really wanted to suss you out. No, you have to know you're right.
I feel like...
But
I'm
that's
very
such
strong.
a good advice, Capella, because I'm a corporate VC, right? I mean, the startups can ask me so many things, and they all miss the chance, right? What are we working on? What are our biggest problems? Why do we invest in company A and not in company B? I mean, they could learn so much if they would ask the right questions.
So much.
Yeah, so I actually think that the more questions you ask, the more respect VCs will give you.
I get
if the question is
30
good.
minutes with them, so I get 30 minutes with them, and I want to make sure, because I pick my VCs rightly, I want to make sure they understand what the heck I'm doing so that they don't go and pitch internally something delusional that they came up with. So I want to make sure they understand But I have a list of very specific questions beside my due diligence that I've done, that I ask them those. But I have seen that I have done extensive questioning, and I come across a little bit as a smart ass, and like it or not, VCs there is a little bit of power imbalance there. You're looking for money, they have the money. Of course, you are the opportunity. I want to be the wise, balanced voice in saying that at the end of the day, you're asking for their money. You better to play with their mood a little bit. Don't come as strong as I am a startup. You like it or not, you're not gonna get too far. So you have to.
I definitely don't pitch LPs like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. So as a GP, pitch into LPs, similar. I spend probably 25 minutes of a half an hour, I've spent as long as that listening to the LP. Because you want to disarm the LP, right? And like really have them tell you what they are excited about, where their maybe sore points are, like where scar tissue is, right? So there is a somewhat different dynamic, right? But it's kind of feeling it. High EQ, right? Like just have high EQ.
We're out of time, but I've got to just ask a couple more questions. Just when you see the founders that have been most successful for the VCs, what are some of the qualities that you think when you see them you really want to lean in? Or on the flip side, what are those that sort of are red flags? And then for the founders, what are some of your strongest qualities that you think have made you successful in your company and in fundraising?
I can say what I love seeing in founders is just like a strong passion to solve that specific problem. Like, you are hitting me with a problem to solve that is big, but I want it to relate to you. Like, I find that founders that are really personally connected to that problem, they're almost unbeatable, right? Like, I mean, the stories really are like, that are very most connected to the problem, or they're either irritated or angry about the problem to solve, and it shows in their passion, right? Like, I really want to solve this problem.
Is founder market fit sort of a key decision point for you?
For me, I would say it's a strong, right? Like,
for all of everybody, founder market fit?
Sometimes the company is too early for product market fit, right? They are still on their
founder
journey.
Market fit.
Founder market fit, yes, that's for sure. My biggest pet peeve is if someone appears to me like Mr. Knows It All. And these are particularly guys who are like super, bold and arrogant, and it's a personality thing. It's just, not every person in this world can know everything, and just acknowledge that.
And when you see, what are the qualities when you see you really want to lean into that founder?
If someone, tells me that there is gaps and that there's things they still have to figure out, and that's why they're raising a seed round, because they have to figure this and this out. Just know where the blind spots are, and being open for feedback and asking questions, definitely.
Yeah, I think one of my strong suits is there are some things I can identify what I don't know, and I say this is what I'm seeking, and I can be very specific when I have that VC calls. I'm like, this is what I need your advice or help from, and this is why I think you're a good fit for me. And then admitting I don't know what I don't know. Like, there's a lot of unknowns in the world, and there are a lot of things that we've never done. We're a disruptable tech. We don't have any competitors, which is great, but also scary, right? And that's also scary for VCs to lean into and understand, but to come at that with kind of a humble, kind of like, I'm going to try my best, and I am the most tenacious person with a little bit of energy. I think that's what's helped me fundraise is, and then getting those vibes and really like digging in and caring about the VCs that I have.
Can I add one quick, one of our advisors told me something that stuck with me before I opened this recent round. He said, your pitch is the proxy of what kind of a CEO you are to investors. That stuck with me. I was like, It was like, how organized, how competent, how confident, how like fluently you give the message, you lay out the plan for them, your vision, your achievements. That is a good proxy of what kind of a CEO you are. So basically he told me, get this pitch and figure it out how to make it that way. And that stuck with me. I think that was a good advice.
And I think one of your really amazing qualities is, and I think attractive to VCs, is you hear the issue, hear the question, internalize it, and then really come up with a thoughtful response. There was one provision when we were negotiating, and I gave you all the pros, the cons, and you said, let me go do yoga for an hour and I'll get back to you, and having that kind of fortitude. And I find this may be a generalization, but difference between men and women sometimes. Men are very quick to come up with an answer. Sometimes, like, it's a bit of a thumbsuck, where where women, I find, like, are much more thoughtful generally more conservative. Sometimes I have to push them to be less conservative because 5 million in 5 years is not exciting to VCs. But you know, I guess that's it.
Let's give it up for our panel. So panel, you exceeded expectations. You exceeded the time limit, but that's our moderator's fault, as usual. So it's 8:20. So normally we have 30 minutes of audience Q&A, which would put us out to 8:50. Is that okay? I mean, some of you are into work-life balance, I guess. Sorry to put that in there. But in any case, are you okay with 30 minutes of Q&A? Okay. Before we do that, how can audience members contact you? Or do you want to be contacted? If so, how? Lochan.
I just want to make sure I say good night to my kids before they go to bed, and they go to bed at 9.
Okay.
So I will leave a little early. Yeah,
okay.
10:50.
Well, we'll do 10 minutes, and then if whoever wants to stay can stay. How's that?
Sure.
But stop. How can audience members contact you? How can audience members contact you? Do you want to be contacted?
Yeah,
If so,
so
how?
I'll share my email ID with everyone, lochan@vcnest.com. So if they want to reach out to me, they can reach out to me.
Winnie.
Maybe in the email that you can share.
No, but you give it out. I'm not going to give it to them. So you give out however you want to be contacted now.
So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is Lochan Alagh, or you can reach out to me at lochan@vcnest.com. It's my email ID.
Right. Winnie.
Search my name, LinkedIn.
Yvonne. Yeah, use the mic.
Yeah, LinkedIn, very easy.
Karen.
Same, LinkedIn.
Capella.
LinkedIn.
Matineh.
LinkedIn.
Roger. Stop.
All right, let's get on with the audience questions.
So if you have questions for our panels, step right up. Or you have a line here, so step right up. This is not a pitch event, so please do not deliver a pitch or thinly disguised pitch. My bouncer isn't here tonight, but I will have to be the bouncer otherwise. Barry, ask.
Yeah, Barry Burr. I've had one angel-funded startup that went profitable enough. Now, sometimes I coach people who are having ideas, and I believe they can deliver. Could each of you tell me approximately a ratio, how many people come to you versus actual term sheets and checks that you write? Is it 100 to 1, 10,000 to 1?
For investors, you mean?
Yeah, for the investors to actual.
1,000 to 1, probably, roughly.
Yeah, it's around 300 to 1. It depends.
Sorry, can you clarify the question again? One more time.
Okay.
Oh, I invest probably in 1 to 2% of the deals I see. Last year, in 6 months, we saw 500 deals, probably headed to 1,000, and invest in 7 or 8 companies per year.
Thank you.
Right, next question.
DJ, one question, not multiple questions.
It's a one question, it's just a very four-point question.
Okay, go. Just go. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, really appreciate it, really wonderful insight. I would love to have a follow-up question for the gentleman for the how many investors did you have to reach out to actually get an investment? That's one, but that's for his follow-up. But my question is, you were mentioning that know your VCs. What are you all investing in right now, and how fully funded are you, or how much money do you have left in fourth quarter? With the government shutdown, there's an exit. There's an exit. No, I'm just.
No, it's one.
I'm just. With the government shutdown, IPO market is basically stopped. How are you investing right now, and for the fourth quarter and the near future?
So what the first part of the question, I got distracted because of all the people actually interrupting you. Okay, what was the first part of the question actually?
It was like for startups, how many investors meetings you have before you get
That was a follow-up question for him. What was your actual question, the first part of the question?
How many investors? Yeah.
No, that was a follow-up of the other one. Sorry, go again.
My question was, what are you all investing in right now? Specifically, how much money do you have from LPs?
Okay.
And how fully vested are you from a VC point of view, specifically in fourth quarter,
Okay.
having had a government shutdown
Okay, so there are 4 questions actually. Okay, so the first question, so I did mention it at the beginning, I invest only in early stage climate tech, B2B ready for selling to Fortune 500s. I'm still raising my funds, so the answer is, if LPs want to come invest in that, we're open shop for that. So we deploy as we call capital. So I'm just literally an intermediary. As soon as an LP invests, I call capital, it goes straight into just investing in a startup. I'm not paying myself, and that's been 16 months of not paying myself.
Yeah, because I'm with Lem Research, basically we invest in the whole semiconductor chain from materials to chips and systems to some extent. Data center is of course currently a very, very big topic. Because we are off balance sheet, we are never running out of money, and as I said, our stock is doing very, very well, so there's no reason for us to hold back. The IPO market is closed for so many years already that we kind of got used to it.
So I represent a family office. It's a $500 million fund. So we do not have any dearth of capital in next 10 years. So even if the government shutdown is happening right now, we don't care. So we definitely want to invest in right founders at the right time. We are investing in primarily, we are sector agnostic. We are investing in B2B space. We do not invest in life sciences and biotechnology. We also have not made any investment in agri-tech space and ed-tech space, but we are open to other spaces. Yeah.
Right. Next question.
Matineh, you want to answer?
No, I thought another question was, how many investors? For this round, that was one of the quick ones. I talked to 150 investors to get a term sheet.
I talked to over 300.
Last round, I mean, pre-seed, we talked about 30, half of them invested in us. Seed round, I think we talked about 50, and we don't know the numbers yet because we're closing.
All right, next question.
This is a question on behalf of fellow founders. So what's the question that you like to use most to actually screen out the right fit for you?
For investors?
Yeah, when you're looking for investor.
I asked about, one of the things that I didn't ask before, I didn't know how important that is how big is the fund that they're investing on and when did they raise it? And what is their what in the life cycle of the fund they are? Because I realized that actually have a lot of implications in the destiny of the company. If they are toward the end of the fund, they could push you to acquisition that you don't want. If they are early in the fund, that's a different story. How big is the fund, whether they can do follow-ons, they can support you in the future runs or not. These are technicalities that I didn't realize how important they are up until like recently. Obviously the culture of it, things like that, they're always like a human interaction. You see if you can.
Yes, those questions I ask, those are my first questions. And then I would also add a fun question. Why did you get into VC and what are you particularly passionate about?
I will ask VC whether they have built a company before. That's very different mindset. For VCs that haven't built a company versus VCs that have built a company, you should ask completely different questions.
Yeah, I guess one of the first questions is, can you give me basically your resume in a minute? So I get their whole, so then I find out if they've built a company or not, or if they've been in VC, and then that's my next set of questions, then I end with passion.
I think kind of a good question to ask also is, why are you investing in my company? Why do you want to invest? And see if they have the same conviction that you do.
One thing at the end of the meeting, I'm giving all my lessons. At the end of the meeting, I ask, how can I help you to build the conviction about the company? So that like makes them think, rather than, it would be great if you share the deck and we talk internally and we get back to I'm like, how specifically I can help you to build internally the conviction. So they started thinking about it.
All right, well, let's give the panel applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay in your seats. We're about to do a raffle drawing, but first, O has a quick announcement. Come on up.
Well, as you know, Halloween is like kickstarting of giving seasons or holiday seasons. So this year I'm supporting Total Flies 2, and they are the nonprofit that transport medic of endangered species. What is scarier than extinction? So please, scan the QR code if you want to donate, and we really appreciate it because the nonprofits are really suffering in this administration. Thank you.
All right. Now it's time for a raffle drawing. We have 10 prizes, so odds look pretty good. So we'll start off. We have a couple books relevant for the audience. Lean In, Sheryl Sandberg. First drawing. Matineh, you want to do the honors? Pull one. Drum roll, please. What is
Joyce Reynolds.
All right, come on down. There you go. Congratulations. All right. So our next prize, burn book, Kerst. Let's move it down. Capella.
And the winner is Kunal. Kunal? Kunal. Oh, yeah.
Come on down. There you go. All right, so now let's do the gift cards, $25 gift cards. So we have two. So two people will get funded tonight. Karen, $25 gift card. Someone will get funded to a tune of $25. The winner is?
It's Ashorina. Ashorina. Is she here? Or Ashorina? No? Okay, no, next.
The winner is?
I don't know how to read this. I don't even know if that's an S or an L, the first letter.
WHHI.
No, skip it. Maria Brilaki. Yay!
All right, Maria, come on down. $25 gift card. Yeah. No, here, smile for the camera. All right, we have another $25 gift card. Yvonne, you're up. It's on the way. It's on. There is.
Avinasi Sharma.
There's Sharma. Come on down. Can you do me a favor? At the drum. Grab the drum. You have to do a drum roll. All right, chocolates. Lisa, why don't you come on? So, chocolates from INSPERITY. Well, hold on. So.
My friend Sandra Hellstrom. I hope she's still here, but I think she left.
Oh, she knew she lose.
But she's my friend. Can I give it to her?
No, you must be present to win. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way.
My name's in there.
Well, actually, Winnie. Tell them that they missed out.
What's the color of them? Sanskriti, Iron.
Okay, give me that gift. So Turkish Airlines is one of our sponsors. So at our last event, Turkish Airlines gave away a round-trip ticket to Istanbul. However, tonight, all we have is a model airplane from Turkish Airlines.
Rahul Pandey. Rahul.
When there is?
It's not here.
Say it again.
Rahul.
He's gone. All right, the winner is?
Cadence.
All right, come on down. So it's like when I say drum roll, please do a drum roll. Okay, let's stop. Okay. Shirley, you want to talk about your prize?
Hi everyone, I'm Shirley. I'm the brand owner and founder of the Viva. brand. This is standing water bottles, and you're just filling like pure water or sparkling water, and it tastes like flavored water. So it's really healthy because the ingredients does not touch with the water, and it's recently new launch products. Really excited. Yeah, this is.
So Roger, you're doing the honors. The winner is?
The winner is Carson.
Carson, come on down. All right. Go ahead, smile for the camera. There you go, nice costume.
Thank you.
We have our grand prizes. I'm actually, IDEA IPO is a co-promoter for the Tech Equity AI Summit at Plug and Play, which is next weekend. It's normally a $695 ticket, $695, but we have 3 tickets here. Yeah, you're up. And the winner is, drum roll.
Shweta.
Shweta, come on down. Must be present to win. Next. Winner is?
Matineh Eybpoosh.
Congratulations. Yeah, there's. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, so another ticket for the Tech Equity AI Conference, and the winner is Capella Kerst.
Namrate?
Come on down. There you go. Just follow the instructions. All right, so we have one more ticket to the Tech Equity AI Conference next weekend. The winner is, Karen, you get final honor.
Let's see.
Winner is?
VJP.
VJ. So, yeah, there's no corruption in our raffles. So let's give it up once again for our panel. Let's give it up for Roger, our awesome moderator. Let's give it up for Snell and Wilmer and all our sponsors. Let's give it up for our video team and our event team. Let's give it up for our audience. Let's give it up for me. So as I mentioned, there will be an after party. It's going to be here. If this were a typical law firm, you'd have to leave in 10 minutes. However, this is Snell and Wilmer, so you can stay here all night. We've got pumpkin pie. We've got desserts. So stick around, network, socialize, connect. By the way, tomorrow we're going to go to the Steve Jobs Halloween block party. That's an IDEA IPO tradition. So check it out at Molly Stone's. It's on our meetup site.